today will be towards carbon neutrality, or responsibility, or opportunity. So we have three panels here: Vimarsh, Vinod sir, and Manoj sir. Okay, they will be acting upon upon the topic responsibility. So how carbon neutrality is a responsibility for them. We have another panel here: Ramit sir, Ganesh sir, Vipul sir. So now they will be discussing about things, how it can be an opportunity for us. Okay, so what actually carbon neutrality is, I will give a brief description on that. So having a net zero carbon footprint, बिल्कुल खत्म ही हो जाए, उसका emission बिल्कुल stop हो जाए, reduce हो जाए, एक टाइम पे eliminate ही हो जाए. That is what carbon neutrality actually means. So carbon dioxide emission accounts for 82% of global warming. So that is actually a very huge percentage right now. Why global warming is actually occurring? It is not any random reason. The major reason behind it is carbon dioxide, which is being emitted everywhere, be it our vehicles, be it our homes, ACs, every place. Cooling, like we have refrigerators, we have condensers in them. Even those are emitting carbon dioxide. So how we can reduce, like every home usage thing almost are emitting carbon dioxide. So how we can reduce it or eliminate it, that will be the discussion over here. So I will ask the panelists to start with the discussion. So I may just know who will be the one who will start with the discussion.
Thank you, Vaishali. Carbon neutrality, the global warming, as we all know, it's a very dicey subject, because at one point of time, let's say when we began the industrial era, that was the need of the hour. Society was to develop, production was to go up, and energy was to come in. The only option we had was the fossil fuels. We exploited that, or rather, we overexploited that. As a consequence, if we see in last one decade, last almost a century, the ocean temperatures have gone up, the snow caps, they are melting, and off and on, we are finding that the pattern of the climate is changing. The rainfall pattern, particularly we see in India, it has changed a lot. Earlier, there was scanty rains. Now you see floods in those areas which never had the rains. If you see China, they are having droughts, a cycle of droughts and floods, which they never experienced in the past. And the temperatures, they have gone up, and the recently concluded COP26 in UK, India and the global leaders, they committed that yes, these things have to come down. When we say these things have to come down, it brings us a big opportunity in it. When I say opportunity, for example, this light, we are using LED. Earlier there were fluorescent lamps and tube lights. They were replaced because the energy consumption has to come down. Similarly, now we are moving towards an era of electric vehicles. That again is a big industry. It is not that if electrical vehicle comes, the traditional industry will be closed down. No, we will have another option. If fossil fuels are coming down, we have another option for the solar power. Another industry is coming up. Another industry is coming up in the form of hydrogen gas. That's again $1 trillion opportunity. And apart from that, a very recent example, let's say during Corona, everybody was happy. Atmosphere is clean. We can see mountains sitting from Panchkula. Somebody says we can see the mountains sitting from Delhi. What happened? What happened was, work did not suffer a lot, but the lifestyle changed. We were commuting less, we were traveling less, but we were using technology. Technology in the sense that whether it is remote calling or the video calling or Zoom on something, these all apps, they came up. So ultimately it is a change in the lifestyle. So all these things, whether it is telecommunication, whether it is electric vehicles, whether it is solar power, wind power, hydrogen economy, and then stopping of the biofuels, burning as such, on which our company is working a lot. Maybe we can make green chemicals, we are making ethanol, 2G ethanol, which is coming up in a big way. So all these, the new generation, the technologies which are coming up, which are replacing the existing means of energy or the way we live. So it offers a big opportunity. In terms of numbers, I don't think so I have enough fingers to count them, but they are huge. So we should not be afraid in any case that the existing business we will lose, at the opportunities we will lose, but rather this is a blessing in disguise rather. On the contrary, let's say if it goes on like that, what will happen? Temperature will rise. It is already predicted that almost 30 to 40 cities which are close to the sea, they will be finished. Bombay, I don't think so. At this level, we will lose Bombay in another 30 years. It will be only in maps that there used to be a city called Bombay. So all these things will happen. So what we have to do is, it is not that overnight all these things can happen. These things require change in the thought process, whether it is doing agriculture, whether it is doing business, or whether it is making buildings. In every way of life, whether it is recycling of water, we don't have water enough to drink. Almost all of the NCR and the major part of India, they are already into black zone. We are not allowed to dig water. So, if we are not allowed to dig water, but we are allowed to recycle the water. So, there is the opportunity in recycling. There is the opportunity in solar power. There is the opportunity in hydrogen, opportunity in wind power, opportunity in saving biomass, converting it into different kind of fuels like maybe ethanol or bio or green chemicals or all those things. So on one hand, yes, some industries will come down, but parallelly more other industries will come, huge industries. So it's a big opportunity in terms of saving the life. अगर प्लेनेटरी नहीं बचेगा तो अल्टीमेटली फिर उस इंडस्ट्रीज का करेंगे क्या?
So it was a great start indeed. So I would request the other panel to give a counter answer to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amit sir, for all the points that you raised here. I think he raised some very diplomatically and some very correct points I think that all of us should be aware about. And that, of course, we are all in agreement that we have to move towards carbon neutrality. Of course, we have to reduce our carbon footprint. And at one point, we have to get to the point that we get carbon neutral and potentially carbon negative. That would be the best thing in the world. You know, a lot of this sounds very good and these terms are thrown around, but let me take you back a little bit with this. We live on this planet Earth that in itself is very dynamic. We have to be aware about a little bit about the history of our planet. I want to ask you a question. How many of you are aware that Africa was actually a lake? All of Africa was always a lake. If you go to the Sahara Desert, you will find fossils of fish. So, and we talk about the Sahara Desert with no water today. Of course, that did not happen over like 100 years. Are we aware that there was an ocean separating India and China? It was not the Himalayas. It used to be an ocean that divided us. So what we have to understand is that the Earth is a very dynamic planet and a lot of changes. There are bigger factors at play than us humans against nature are a very small force. We have bigger factors at play here, and we are not saying that climate change is not real. None of us are arguing against that. But all we're saying is that there are other factors, bigger factors at play here. The Earth goes through this cycle of ice age. I don't know how many of you are aware of that, but that is how ancient and prehistoric humans crossed over from Africa to Asia and then to the United States, to the Northern Americas. So all we're saying is that there are other factors and bigger factors at play here, and definitely we are accelerating this, but we have to understand what factors of ours are actually accelerating this towards making this these weather changes, and are we actually the major and biggest contributors here? And the major contributors, definitely we have to arrest them and stop them. But we have to be careful with how we proceed with this. We have seen in our history that, of course, approach technology for burning fossil fuels was an advancement in technology. It happened very quickly over the course of 300 years. But were we correct in all of them? We thought nuclear energy was the answer to all our energy troubles. Today we do not have an answer to where we will throw our nuclear waste. So, conservative and a little more cautious approach is not going to destroy our next 300 years. A workforce ready to eliminate fossil fuels and carbon heavy emission resources has to be developed. But that is a generational change which sometimes takes time. It takes change in our whole society and our whole demeanor in how we go about it. So change is good, but is too quick a change? Are we ready for it? I think that is what we're going to discuss here. So that is my counter argument against what you said.
So you know that if we go by a cautious approach, petroleum is going to be depleted in next 50 years. So if we go by this conscious approach, then our problem will automatically get solved. So we have to be slightly quicker in our action. That is what I wanted to say.
I just like to add, as you said that nuclear was an opportunity earlier, but today we do not have, we don't know what to do with the nuclear waste. Now I see, what I would say that there is an opportunity in that as well. We have to find ways and means how to use it constructively and build infra or something out of it. So having said that, this is evolution of this is evolution that we are coming. Maybe 200 years back, nobody was talking about nuclear. Nobody knew about it. But today, nuclear is. Today, we are talking about nuclear waste. Okay, so this is an opportunity. I think we need to find ways and means how we can use it back into this thing. Similarly, burning of fossil fuels is adding nitrogen and sulfur, in the atmosphere. Now we need to remove it. We should find out ways and means how we can remove it and put it back into infra. So, of course, we are looking at it from a perspective that it poses to be a problem. But if you look at it from the other side, it probably could be an opportunity to do more business and will add, to carbon neutrality.
Although I am fully in sync with this idea of carbon neutral economy, but the real challenge is how to implement it when it has to be implemented. If you see the current data, the total energy, out of the total energy sector of the country, almost 60% is thermal energy, and all other forms of energy, 40% is through nuclear, solar, hydro and other wind energy. These 40% has taken more than 25 years to come to this stage. So we have a very cautious approach, because it is very difficult to change over industrial practice or agriculture practice. Like Ramiji has given one, there is a lot of hue and cry about electric vehicles and 2G ethanol. Being a finance guy, so my thing is that we have to have a proper cost benefit analysis if we are planning to remove this fossil fuel economy. Take the case of electric vehicle. If you see the data of UT, in the last 3 years, only 100 electric vehicles have been sold. And what is the cost comparison? The same car is available at 8 lakh rupees, like we have purchased Tata vehicle. The cost is, if we purchase it diesel or petrol version, it costs 8 lakh rupees. Whereas for electric vehicle, it costs about 16 lakh. So it means you are double spending the money on that. And what is the benefits which you are driving for that? Another thing is, you are using electric vehicle, but what is the source of charging of that electricity? Maybe that may be a thermal power only. So no doubt everybody has to follow this idea that they have to remove this carbon emission. But my personal approach is that we have to be very cautious. For everything, we have to have a proper analysis. Like I had a lot of discussion with Vivekji about 2G ethanol, which is again a fossil-free ethanol. But the cost of that technology is almost more than 10 times of the other technologies. So we have to have some commercial sense also for this.
I would like to add some points in that. Like Mr. Musar has told about EV. we are moving toward electrical vehicles and electrical batteries, but the cost of manufacturing a battery cell, it comes at a more toxic way. If you talk about the carbon you are removing from the environment, but to make a cell itself, it consumes a high amount of energy and it releases more toxic waste in the environment. So, like he said, that we have to be very cautious to approach with the new technologies, because still those technologies haven't proven themselves. And if we are rapidly adapt those technologies, then we might lag in the development. As he has said that we see in Corona, we can see mountains from here, but in the same time we have to see the plight of the poor man, which are not working. The whole industry is stalled. People don't even have food to eat. So question is that how are we gonna feed those people if you are not moving forward? So being a climate conscious person myself, there is a no point of stopping all the activities and we should go for a greener world and green technology, because those technologies are still far behind and still in the nascent stage. And we are running our power plant with the coal, which is the mainstay of Indian economy, and we are like a fuel deficient country. So how we can go about discarding the coal and making a commitment that we made in the zero neutrality at COP26. So that cannot happen, because the distribution of development at global level is very disruptive. It's not uniform. Some countries have done and other countries are still lagging behind. And even if you see those 12 countries, if put that idea on your table that we need to cut emissions and we need to do that and this, they are the main culprit of doing this emission. So they themselves are consuming more energy. If you see the per capita consumption of India, that lies at 120th rank. India ranks 120th position in the per capita energy consumption, whereas US and UK, they are acting as a forebearer of these climate summits. They are the more energy consumption countries. So, like that new technologies which Sir had said that we will go with the solar and wind technologies, they need area. The drawback of these technologies is that they need a substantial amount of area that is not available with a country like India. So we cannot switch overnight to these technologies. Yes, they can add up to the energy mix of India, but still with the caution.
I would like to add to Vinod that recently we must have gone through a very recent example that in Punjab, almost 15-20 days back, there was a stock of only 3 to 4 days of coal, and because all the thermal plants were shut, so there was a lot of hue and cry. All activities were stopped. Even in the electric supply to industry was stopped, and even household cuts were there. Office timings were changed. So I mean to say, presently there is a lot of dependence on the fossil fuel energy. No doubt it has to be changed, but this process may change over a very number of years, and because such a huge capital expenditure has been already done on this technology based on fossil fuel, for me it is not easy to replace that technology over a short period of time.
Yeah, just very briefly, I'd like to add, sorry, I'm just interrupting you there. I just want to ask a very philosophical question here. Is it necessary for everyone to be carbon neutral or carbon negative? Is it necessary? Simply because we have Bhutan, our next door neighbors there. They are already carbon negative. That's simply because they don't make anything themselves. They are dependent on others to provide them certain things and for certain sources. And it is just a reality of our society that there are going to be some nations and some parts of our world that are going to be carbon positive and some are going to be carbon negative. So we have to strike the balance to see where we are and how we are going to proceed towards that. And we need to analyze, are we definitely going to be carbon negative for sure? Is everyone going to be carbon negative?
What Europe is doing basically, as per the Paris Agreement, they are bound for the reduction of carbon emission. But what they are doing, they are shifting their manufacturing base to other countries. Basically, they are reducing their carbon emission by shifting the burden on other countries, which is not a right approach. In fact, they were the most contributor of carbon.
US and Europe is
the most contributor of this carbon emission, and they are passing the buck on other countries. That is not a correct approach.
No, maybe to some extent you're right, but the broader question is, let us say either US or Europe at the initial phase, it were these countries which developed the technology and they fed the world. Then they shifted the base to, let us say, China or other developing countries. Now they are the factories of the world. But the technologies that you are saying is that in recent past, in India, the energy mix is almost 60 to 40, 60 with respect to the thermal and rest of the stream is 40. This 40 has come up in last 60 years. But if you see the gap in last 5 years, how much solar India has added? It has almost trebled its capacity. And in next 3 years, the existing capacity, which is almost 145 gigawatt, it will be trebled to 400 or 500 gigawatt. The solar tariffs, which were already to the tune of 20-25 rupees per kilowatt unit around 6 to 7 years ago, they are now hovering around 3 rupees a unit. Technology has a role to play. Because of the technology only, the rates have come down. As far as area is concerned and the sunshine hours are concerned, the world has plenty. Not only India, the Africa, the other countries, they have plenty of area. It is only a matter of time. And maybe the panel efficiency, which was earlier around 18-19%, now it is almost 20-30%. Maybe there are some technologies which can further increase it to 30-35-40%. Nobody knows. So there is always a what we call a tipping point for any adoption of the technology. EV right now, yes, there are few cars in our office. Let us say we have a single car, but I am sure in next 2 years, almost all the two-wheelers which are being parked in the company, they will be electric two-wheelers. It is only a matter of 2 years, not more than that. Cost, it is almost, if we see the viability gap funding in terms of the subsidy that the government provides, so the cost of a two-wheeler, let's say you are taking a bike or a scooter, it is only a 10 to 15,000 rupees, and the cost of running, it is you see the car, the cost is around 2.2 to 2.5 rupees a kilometer versus the 12 rupees a kilometer that we pay for or run by petrol or diesel.
So, but you have already paid the double cost initially.
Sir, the
cost
cost-
already paid 60
I
lakh
would like to
rupees.
add.
No, you will definitely add. Just hold on. Point is, at what cost? The cost is not only the money. Money, the interest, printing of notes, that is one part. Second part is the sustainability of the society. Are we able to going to live to see all those things if we don't invest?
See, how you are charging your car? It is through thermal power only.
Absolutely correct.
Basically, you are using one source of power and you are pretending that I am using electric power.
But for
I
how
am
long?
an electric vehicle.
How long? How long? For how long, sir?
After 25 years, still we are on the same stage.
After 25 years, but till for last 25 years, there is technology for the solar. It was not so developed and accepted. Now the time has come. You see the growth,
That's why-
almost 100% every year.
That's why we are saying it has taken 25 years
So
for
now
solar
the-
to be commercially
Even
viable
the-
now.
This exactly problem is no,
Sir,
this
let me add one point. The efficiency of the solar cell, if you know that, it is only around 14%. So we are wasting that resource in that.
नहीं, अभी
So,
14 नहीं है.
and one thing is more that battery life, we haven't talked about that. You don't know how much your battery will last. I have one of person, maybe he's sitting here right here or not, and he bought a EV vehicle and he had for like 1 year and now its battery got dead and replacement cost is 25,000. He purchased the vehicle for 35,000 and now replacement cost after 1 year is 25,000. And how he going to be at
So
that?
it is a huge cost, right?
So you are very much right. So now this is an opportunity, and based upon this, Israel is developing a battery which can be charged in like 30 seconds, and it is organic battery, not like anything which required very extensive technology to handle the waste.
See,
So this kind of
that is
opportunity and
okay,
development
that
is
is okay.
continuously going
Technologies
on.
can develop themselves and can come when they proven themselves. Otherwise, we cannot shift our base to some resources that are not proven, and that is only single battery. We have tons of electricity, gigawatts of electricity that is going through our home and to our industry. We cannot just overnightly shift to the other resources.
It is not the question of shifting overnight. Point is, let us say we put a number X years. It is not 2070, let us say it is
And
whatever.
One thing more, the climate impact which you have talked about, if you really document the change, that is for the past 100 years, the temperature risen to 0.7 degree. Okay, and what they are doing, they are projecting into the figures where you feel that now something is going to happen. No, nothing is like that. Nature is always balance itself.
At what cost?
See,
So,
I would say
there is a
nature
proper
will
carbon.
balance. Nature will balance. How? What is happening?
See, we
Coming to the question that why is this, why we are talking about carbon neutrality? As we got just, one number was there that we are having, this figure at 400 ppm, and we should reduce it to 300 ppm. That means we need to be carbon negative. Now, why this has happened? There are two things which have added primarily to it. One is that the acreage, which where we have lot of what is actually consuming the biggest consumer carbon dioxide is the plants, trees, or the forests. So the acreage has gone down and urbanization has developed. Urbanization has taken that acreage. And second thing is that the number of vehicles have gone up, which are based on fossil fuel. Going back 20 years back, there was hardly any electric car, or there were very, very few. And very, who could have afforded that car? 20 years today, when we look at today we have at least a common man can, try to buy that car, can come into that range. So the technology has delivered that. 10 years hence, we will be having a better technology where we might be having a cost of the, this thing at par with the, maybe with the petrol car or a diesel car. But we need to find that method how we have to do it, which as he said was, Israel is working on something. So this is one perspective. Maybe we may have some more perspective somewhere which is happening. That means there is an opportunity over there where we have, we have to shift from, fossil fuel driven car to maybe electric vehicle, or we have to, create biofuels, which will not add so much of, dent to the environment, so that at least this figure at least does not go up. So the number 400 ppm does not go up to 450 or something like that. It at least remains stagnant, and then we create more ways and means by which we can reduce it.
Whether you think that you can reduce the dependence of the industry on coal, take the case of steel industry. I think that must be one of the largest consumer of coal. ठीक है? So much capital intensive projects are there like Tata, Jindal, Sales. You see, all these projects they are having their coal mines.
आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है.
Do you think you
It
can
will
have
not
any
become
other
zero.
alternative source to run their plant?
Nobody is saying bring it to zero. Carbon use or the use of the fossil fuel. Nobody is saying bring it to zero. The question is bringing to
Even we are not saying that to bring it to zero. We are saying
it will be used. It will be used along in conjunction with other sources. The only thing
what
is
could be the other sources? Like for steel industry, what could be the other sources?
how much will be the consumption of this coal for the steel sector in the current
More than
scenario.
largest consumer of coal.
Is more efficient process.
You're
If
definitely
you see
right.
the data of
We
steel
used to have
industry,
100 watt bulb. We used to have 100 watt bulb. Today we are just using 7 watt or 5 watt LED to get even more, light.
You're absolutely right on that. Now, one
Maybe
thing I
at
want to
that
touch
point
on.
of time, I would like to add one thing, that at that time there might be a one bulb in one house. Now you are lighting like maybe 10 LEDs.
You have come to the
What
very
I'm
good point.
talking is that
I want to-
the lumens which we are getting, the lightning which we are getting from our 100 watt bulb, you are getting with 7 watt LED or 15 watt CFL.
I'll give you an example. The reason why we come to this actually, no one again, as we said, technology is developing. We can't stop. Definitely it has to develop. But our question is, are we doing science or are we doing pseudoscience? The reason why I ask this, we talk about EVs all the time, right? EVs. EV car, it is not about just about the use. Let me talk about the battery for a second. How is the electric battery manufactured today? We mine the nickel out of a mine from Australia. We ship all of that and we take it to Japan to manufacture a foam out of it. Then we take that foam and we ship it to China to pack it up. And then we make another supply chain after that to distribute it all over the world. The life cycle of anything is not just the use that we do. It is the origin from when we get it out of the earth and how it is disposed of at the end. All we are saying is, We have to ensure that this whole cycle is done efficiently, and only then can we say that technology has actually developed to the point that it is renewable.
Nickel is also a fossil fuel.
It is, there is a limit to how much we can dig out of the earth.
You see,
That's what.
it is a process of evolution. What we are seeing today, sitting here, it is the evolution of society in last thousands of years. Similarly, during that process of evolution, society has moved from the process of on a sustenance basis to accumulation basis. This accumulation basis, what I mean to say is, all of us sitting here, majority of the society, irrespective of the income, everybody has such kind of store, I would say, in each house. If you see the consumption, society is moving towards a very, very big consumption pattern. So that consumption pattern, in terms of whether it is the lifestyle, the clothes, the food, the movement, whatever, that has to come in sync with the current reality. And the current reality is that whatever the supply chain, let us say you mentioned that the nickel is being mined and it is taken to Japan and then to China, and then the end product is distributed across the world. So this supply chain and these production centers and the basic perception of the human beings that we need not to accumulate too much, because ultimately these world factories, if you see across the world, no single factory is working at over 60% of its rated capacity. We have n number of brands which are engaging, y number of factories. All those factories are running at around 50 to 60%. We are competing for the natural resources which are limited in nature. So what we have to understand is, it is not that we can eliminate the fossil fuels overnight or 100%, but we have to strike a balance. As Vipul mentioned, that the carbon sequestration, ultimately it happens under the sea in terms of the forests that we have below the earth, in the oceans, and over the surface. That forest cover, because it has come down because of either the expansion of the agricultural activities or the urbanization pattern of the society, that if we are increasing in number, it cannot come down. What we can do is, we can make agriculture more efficient, so that less amount of land is dedicated to the agriculture, and more of it is covered by the forest, so that whatever.
One thing I would like to add: the forest, that whatever the crop you are growing, that itself fixes your carbon.
That is a temporary solution.
Definitely.
That is temporary.
No, that is not temporary. Every crop cycle is a carbon fixation cycle. Every biomass which is produced from the earth fixes your carbon.
As compared to.
But the moment you harvest the crop, consume the same, that sequestration is gone.
That will go on. You cannot starve yourself and starve the mankind.
For audience, anyone from the audience would like to question?
One question is for the team which is supporting the responsibility, and one for the opportunity. So for responsibility, it is like how you will make people responsible. Like earlier, we were having this DDT came into picture. India has used very extensively. So it has repercussions for that one. Everybody knows this thing. So there are many things which are coming. Like sir has told, tanneries has come in Kanpur. India was very happy that okay, we are the #1 tanneries manufacturer. But at what cost? It comes. When governance is there, then only rules are followed. Pollution norms are not there. Then people, what they are doing is they are putting in the rivers. They were digging holes and they are just polluting the groundwater. So how we will make the people responsible? Like there should be something which comes from inside. Okay, I have to follow this thing. This is for the responsibility. About the opportunity, everybody is greedy nowadays. So they want to earn more money and money. That is why opportunity team is here. So they are looking for some silver lining into this thing. So without any opportunity, like there should be some opportunity. Like government should put some amount that okay, you are using biodiesel, then we will pay you. If ethanol is at 50 rupees, with biodiesel it will be 60, like that. Or what should be there? Because India has already participated, they have signed it. But it should be responsibility as well as opportunity. in terms of technology? How do you endorse it?
First
So then-
opportunity.
Actually, actually wanted to bring this point up. I think that's an excellent point that you bring up there. That of course, we have to, energize people. We have to educate people, and they should understand that there is a cost benefit to this, and we have to ensure that our society is left for the future. We cannot just erode this planet and get it done within the next 20 years. We have to ensure that the next 2000 years are good for everyone on this planet. Now that is the thing. Newer technology is coming in rapidly. How does the government promote it? They subsidize it. They give them tax breaks. They push them with money. But is that the only way of ensuring that we understand this? Why not spend it on education? Imagine we have a lot of money spent into the original supply chains. How about spending some money to replace them? Using money instead of just subsidizing technology and just ensuring that new R&D is done. Use that on the society, because, as you said, society change takes long. Technology might be developed quicker than society adapts them or even understands them. That is why we should also ensure that a part of this money, the subsidies that we use, is spent towards education, is spent towards energizing the youth. Because the youth will take it quicker. But the youth is young. It is going to take time, it is going to take 10, 15, 20 years to get into the working class position. And that is why we need to ensure that there is a balance instead of just pushing everything on technology in the next 20 years.
Any other question from the audience?
आपका कोई सवाल हो, आप भी अपना सवाल करिए. Some have to be positive, some have to be negative.
मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी साइड के लोगों से क्वेश्चन है कि टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करना बहुत अच्छी बात है, करना भी चाहिए अगर आप रेस में आगे चलना है. बट उसके जो डिस्पोजल है, टॉक्सिक मटेरियल है, हैजार्डियस मटेरियल है, उसको कैसे हम रिसाइकिल करें? हमारे पास कोई टेक्नोलॉजी भी नहीं है कि रिसाइकिल करें. जैसे कि एलटीई के केस में है, हमारा वेस्ट निकल रहा है, उसका क्या करें? तो हमें वेस्ट टू प्रोडक्ट की तरफ भी जाना चाहिए, उस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए, तभी हम कार्बन इमिशन को कम भी कर सकते हैं. तो इतनी रैपिडली टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट करना है और तेजी से बढ़ना कि हम तेजी से आगे चले जाएं, ये इसका सोल्यूशन नहीं है. धीरे चले बट स्टेबल चले, ताकि इमिशन कम हो और वेस्ट टू प्रोडक्ट की तरफ हम ध्यान दें.
धीरे चलने से ये वेस्ट का सोल्यूशन
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. जब ये थर्मल प्लांट्स बहुत पॉपुलर हो गए तो फ्लाई ऐश को डिस्पोज करने का बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि वॉल्यूम बढ़ गया. तो उसको क्या किया, उसका सोल्यूशन क्या निकाला? उसका सोल्यूशन ये है कि उसको सीमेंट में मिक्स कर दिया. जो सीमेंट आता है उसमें फ्लाई ऐश मिक्स होता है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
और वो अल्टीमेटली इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में खप जाता है.
जी.
तो इसी किस्म के किसी सोल्यूशन के ऊपर हमें सोचने की ज़रूरत है कि अगर हमने कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी निकाली है, उससे कोई ऐसा वेस्ट निकल रहा है जिसके की डिस्पोजल की ज़रूरत है, तो उसके लिए हमें सोचना है. वी हैव टू थिंक आज है या नहीं है कि ऊपर बात नहीं है, बट वो कैसे आएगा, वो फिर टेक्नोलॉजी से आएगा.
हाँ, तो वही मेरा कहना है
वो
कि
टेक्नोलॉजी से भी ज्यादा ना शेयरिंग से आएगा, जब कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पूरे
Yes.
दुनिया के कंट्रीज लेंगे.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है.
ये नहीं है कि वो कंट्रीज हमारे ऊपर लाई करती है, उनके ऊपर नहीं लाई करती है. इट्स अ कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी.
अब तो
अगर उनके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है,
दैट वी एक्सेप्ट.
But I have crossed part from your entire discourse is this, that there are two questions. One is main question, and another is sub question, like side and section. Main question is the survival of this planet in this hazardous material or whatever. That is more important. First is our survival. अगर भूमि जिंदा नहीं रहेगी तो अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या करेंगे? अपॉर्चुनिटीज लाइक फिशिंग इन द ट्रबल्ड वाटर्स. दैट इज लाइक इट इन माय ओपिनियन. पहले तो हमारी सर्वाइवल है, उसके लिए एक बहुत बढ़िया पॉइंट दिया है कि वी नीड टू एजुकेट पीपल एंड एनलाइटन देम फॉर द सर्वाइवल ऑफ द प्लैनेट फर्स्ट. And for that, we need to reduce our wishes and luxuries and the population, which is giving more load on the this entire thing. So पहली चीज तो ये है, इसको घटाना, इसको एनलाइटन करना, एजुकेट करना, और ये अपनी विशेष को रिड्यूस करना. Why do we need 20 pants or 20 set of dresses? Can't we survive with 2 or 3 or 4? So ये एडिशनल जो प्रोडक्शन है, ये कहाँ से है? अल्टीमेटली ये लोड बढ़ा कहीं ना कहीं. कहीं एमिशन हुई, पब्लिक बढ़ी, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ी, लोड बढ़ा और इंडस्ट्री और फॉर आवर सर्वाइवल वेयर व्हाटएवर वी नीड फ्रॉम दी मार्केट, कहीं से जहाँ से भी जो आया उसका लोड बढ़ा. तो ये एनलाइटनमेंट एंड एजुकेशन, दिस इज द foremost thing. And the second thing is, yes, fishing in the lower water, yeah, we should look for the opportunities and money is also the better. तो उसको भी देखना चाहिए. So, in my opinion, that is the main thing. कि looking for those opportunities is a very good thing. And like people said, कि जैसे nuclear waste है, उसकी disposal का भी एक, ये भी अपने आप में एक opportunity. Yes, we should look for that also. So, this is.
So I just add to your this thing that we जैसे नन्ना सर ने भी कहा कि when he joined sugar industry way back in say 40 years back or 45 years back, the sugar plant was operating at 70% steam consumption. Today we have, and when probably spray engineering started, the steam consumption was 40%, 42%. So we got that opportunity to reduce it to 27%, which we have achieved.
That's what he
That is
So
correct.
that is what we are actually arguing, that there is a big opportunity in terms of working in such a fashion to bring this carbon emissionless.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's an excellent point, but जब nuclear की बात करते हैं, I look at the example of nuclear as a warning sign. We knew we don't have a solution for it. A solution already, infrastructure बना देंगे, but it is not a sustainable answer, is it? That is like lying down in front of a train and being like, help me. You already know that there is no solution to it. So that is why we are saying, with certain technologies, we should not rush or jump into it. Instead, take a systematic and more measured approach. See how viable it is. See how it is going to work for us in the future, and how it is going to work with all the other. Because we have so many value chains and energy chains happening. How it is going to work in conjunction and help each other, and actually be a sustainable answer for us for thousands of years, not for 100 years.
So that was really great. A small perception from my side. Okay, so people here are talking about education and enlightenment. So, but sarcastically, I've seen one thing, that highly the educated the person is, the number of cars the person has. The number of, like, the AC temperature is on 18.
No, he said enlightened too. Maybe education
But
enlightened too.
then here, I think everyone is enlightened. Everyone
No,
knows it.
educated, everyone is educated, but not enlightened.
Yeah.
Just to broaden down.
But then, if we are talking about opportunity, enlightenment, they are enlightened somehow, because that is the reason why they are saying कि हमने steam consumption को इतना कर दिया, हमने इतना कर दिया. Okay, factories में steam consumption कम हो रहा होगा, but जो हम individual basis पे carbon emission कर रही हैं, वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. चाहे factories में आप बहुत कम करवा लो steam consumption, आपका reduction carbon emission आप zero कर दो. But जब तक आप individually we not lead with the fact कि हमें अब individual basis पे अपने घरों में कार्बन एमिशन कम करना है, तब तक वो नहीं हो पाएगा.
पर वैशाली, उसमें हमें देखना पड़ेगा व्हाट इज द रूट कॉज. अभी आप पिछले 3-4 सालों से इस पीरियड में आप यू मस्ट बी हियरिंग कि बहुत सारा इशू क्रिएट, पराली जला रहे हैं कि फार्मर्स, अब दिल्ली में 40% पराली से पोल्यूशन हो रहा है. सो पीपल एंड गवर्नमेंट हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई दे आर बर्निंग इट. देयर मस्ट बी सम रीजन व्हाई दे आर बर्निंग इट, बिकॉज दे हैव टू सो न्यू क्रॉप. उसका कोई अल्टरनेटिव उनको मेथड सोचना पड़ेगा.
So sir, government ने disposal problem के लिए
सबको
they
एजुकेट
provided
होना
them
है.
with machines,
एजुकेशन
but
कॉस्ट
then the
क्या है?
same thing, it is so costly.
नहीं, वो तो बहुत कॉस्टली है.
And it is so costly
सुनो.
that they cannot bear that. उनको कोई माचिस की तिल्ली सस्ती पड़ती है, वो मशीन नहीं खरीदेंगे.
नहीं, जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल, एक और एग्जांपल है ना.
That burden then has to be taken up by the
Society.
by the society, by the government.
Exactly.
जैसे कि अभी इन्होंने कहा कि the cost put into R&D should be used for teaching.
So
I would
think
say that it has to be balanced.
To take the authority
नहीं,
on
नहीं.
their head to
No.
reduce
Actually,
the amount of
नहीं, just hold on. This thing has to begin from ourselves,
Exactly.
from the individual perspective.
Definitely. That's
For example,
बाकी सब
हम सब की बोतल पानी की रखी हुई है यहाँ पर. इफ यू कुड हैव रिप्लेस देम बाय ए ग्लास, तो शायद हम बहुत सारा प्लास्टिक और बहुत कुछ बचा सकते थे। तो ये सब चीजें बहुत छोटे छोटे इनिशिएटिव हैं
happens in order to impress people, we opt for another path.
करना
which is
पड़ता है।
not- yeah,
For
just
example-
less educated people.
पर
This
रमेश
is
जी,
another point.
उसमें उसमें हो सकता है आप एक इंडस्ट्री को मार रहे हो।
नहीं नहीं, ऐसी इंडस्ट्री को जीने का फायदा नहीं है ना। जो इंडस्ट्री हमारे सर्वाइवल के लिए खतरा है,
ग्लास इंडस्ट्री को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं।
ये रिसाइकलेबल नहीं है ना,
ग्लास
ग्लास
रिसाइकलेबल
रिसाइकलेबल
है।
है।
तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, बट वी हैव टू टेक केयर एट द इंडिविजुअल लेवल एज वेल।
अब talking about education enlightenment, US में population इतनी नहीं है, most of the population is educated. Enlightenment वो मीडिया में बहुत शो करते हैं, but highest actually they are the one who talk about all such stuff. They actually do such things.
सर ने बोला ना,
Because
रमेश सर,
मैंने
because of
मैंने
their
इतनी बड़ी-बड़ी बातें उनके मुंह से ही
रमेश सर ने
ज्यादातर
बोला ना,
सुनती हूँ।
रमेश
वहाँ
सर ने
पे क्या
बोला
है
because of their environment, climate condition,
10% जो
they are
पॉपुलेशन है ना, they are bearing the load of 90% people. 90% people dumb है वहाँ पे, really.
So
10% इंटेलिजेंट है, तभी तो इंडियन जाके इतना ग्रो करते हैं।
Somehow I
But it is
feel
better
It is correct. 75% of the American population did not go to college.
ये कनाडा में भी +2 के बाद कॉलेज में नहीं जाते वहाँ के लोकल, यहाँ के बच्चे वहाँ भाग रहे हैं। +2 के बाद
No, there are. The thing is, the balance has to come everywhere. Education does not mean enlightenment, as you just said. Being educated does not mean कि जो है मेरे को समझ आ चीज़। So we need to bring that consciousness and bring that, make that awareness to everyone that this is the consequences of us happening, and that is why we say we should also spend a lot of our efforts and power into ensuring all of us at this level are educated. Water bottles is a perfect example. So we should make these small efforts ki our needs themselves don't become so much that we need to supply it to find a solution to it in the first place.
That was rightly said by
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Nani, sir.
So I hope कि अब number of cars might reduce today. एक ही गाड़ी में सब बैठ कर जाएंगे।
आई थिंक बहुत अच्छा डिस्कशन चल रहा है, तो एक दो पॉइंट्स बीच में डिस्कशन में आए थे किसी ने, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू बिलीव्स दैट लैंड इज एक्चुअली शॉर्ट फॉर द सस्टेनेबिलिटी, मींस अगर हम दुनिया को थर्मल पावर प्लांट बंद करते हैं तो दुनिया में जमीन की शॉर्ट पड़ सकती है। किस को लगता है? किसी को लगता है क्या? एक्चुअली नॉट, वी हैव प्लेंटी ऑफ लैंड, प्लेंटी so it's not a real situation. The other thing is that do we really need batteries to be 100% on solar? No. आपने COP का अभी announcement सुना होगा, world is already agreeing to the global grid. What is global grid? Is connecting all the countries just like internet across. So you may be getting power which is coming from America, and because sun is shining somewhere all the time, so the world is now moving to the global grid already. So that is another thing. एक और पॉइंट आ रही थी बात की, the moment power becomes flexible, suppose the solar power is coming to you at 3 rupees and coal power is coming to you at 10 rupees. Now you have a choice. वो तो दिन में तो सोलर उसको हाई देगी, थर्मल पावर प्लांट को एक्चुअली में दिन में पैसे देने पड़ेंगे ग्रिड में बिजली डालने के लिए, क्योंकि बंद तो कर नहीं सकते, तो ग्रिड में डालने के लिए पैसे देने पड़ेंगे। तो दिन में सोलर को सब्सिडाइज कर रहे होंगे दिन के टाइम में, क्योंकि रात में उन्होंने फिर महंगी बेचनी है। अब रात की बिजली को वो जो है कितने पैसे कमा सकते हैं रात में? लोग ही अपनी हैबिट्स चेंज करेंगे, इंडस्ट्री अपनी हैबिट चेंज करेगी, अपने डिवाइसेस इंटेलिजेंट हो जाएंगे। या रात के टाइम में आपकी गाड़ी आई, वो गाड़ी आपके ऑफिस में सोलर से चार्ज हो गई, घर पे पहुंचे तो उसी गाड़ी की बैटरी ने आपके घर को चार्ज कर दिया। अब 50 किलोवाट आवर की बैटरी दिन में ऑफिस में चार्ज हो रही है, रात में आपको घर को दे रही है। You don't need electricity connection at your home. So दुनिया में solutions आ रहे हैं। आप सोचो कि एक छोटा सा लैब है आपके हाथ में, सबके हाथ में कंप्यूटर ही तो है ना, इस कंप्यूटर को जब ये बना था तो कितनी पावर से चलता था, कि इससे 1000 नहीं, शायद 10,000 गुनी ज्यादा पावर से चलता था। इससे उसको सुपर कंप्यूटर कहते थे। इसका पहला कंप्यूटर बना दिया हमने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स। उस टाइम इसकी पावर, उस वाले कंप्यूटर की पावर इससे बहुत कम थी, लेकिन आज कितनी कम पावर में चल रहा है। सो एक्चुअली विदाउट रियली डूइंग एनी एफर्ट्स, दुनिया में मटेरियल बचता जा रहा है। वी आर लिविंग विद लेस एंड लेस मटेरियल ऑलरेडी। मगर किताबों को सोचो कि किताबें थी हमारे बचपन में 50, 60, 100, 200 किताबें। अभी आपके इस फोन के अंदर ही बहुत सारे लोगों के पास हजारों किताबें, पढ़ने के लिए भी आप पढ़ भी नहीं सकते इतनी किताबें। तो एक्चुअली देयर इज नो एंड। जैसे जैसे हमारे पास मटेरियल अवेलेबल होता जा रहा है, अब हम 15% की खाने की इकोनॉमी रह गई जो कि 100% की थी। सो 85% ऑफ द मनी दैट वी स्पेंड टुडे, द होल वर्ल्ड spends today is actually not on the food. US में तो 2% स्पेंड करते हैं, 98% is on the non-food economy. तो दुनिया में इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज तो बढ़ी जाएगी, मगर while the world is moving towards this, we have to make it carbon negative. और वो कार्बन नेगेटिव बनेगा by only sheer economic reasons, not by any injection. कि साहब सरकार का इंजेक्शन तो वैसे ही काम नहीं करता कभी भी। सरकार ने एक बार ठीक है सोलर को 25 रुपए दे दिए, मगर कुछ ही दिनों में सोलर जो है वो 3 रुपए पे आ गया, 2 रुपए पे आ गया। तो दुनिया में ये आज की डिबेट का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि यस, one approach is conservative approach, realistic approach, so that the current status is not brought to the collapsing stage. बाय जैसे कि आज गवर्नमेंट कर रही है, थोड़ा सा लोग परेशान हैं कि पेट्रोल के भाव जिसमें कि 65% टैक्स है वो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। तो सोसाइटी इज कमिंग अंडर स्ट्रेस। सो दिस इज टू बी रिड्यूस्ड। वी शुड नॉट ब्रिंग टू मच स्ट्रेस इनटू द सोसाइटी, व्हाइल सोसाइटी इज ऑलरेडी टेकिंग एफर्ट्स। जस्ट लाइक सोलर पावर, इंडिया की जो टोटल पावर है ग्रिड में मैक्सिमम पीक पावर, वो 1.5 लाख मेगावाट की पावर 2 लाख मेगावाट के आसपास हम लोग कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं पीक पे। और इंस्टॉल्ड सोलर ऑलरेडी कितना पहुंच गया है, 50,000 मेगावाट, जो कि उम्मीद है कि 5 लाख मेगावाट पे पहुंच जाएगा। जब वो 5 लाख मेगावाट पे पहुंच जाएगा तो ग्रिड को तो बर्स्ट कर जाएगी ग्रिड। क्या कौन लेके जाएगा उस पावर को? खाने वाले 2 लाख मेगावाट और प्रोड्यूस हो रही है 5 लाख मेगावाट, वो विल टेक इट। सो दैट इज द अपॉर्चुनिटी दैट विल क्रिएट कि आप हाइड्रोजन बनाओ, कुछ दिन के टाइम में खर्च करो, सस्ती बिजली है कंज्यूम करो किसी तरीके से, और रात में उसी बिजली को यूज कर लो। सो इट विल, दीज थिंग्स आर ऑलरेडी हैपनिंग। फोर्स करके तो कुछ भी होने वाला नहीं है, इट हैज टू बी इवॉल्व। सम पीपल विल गो फॉर ए वेरी अपॉर्चुनिस्ट बिग अपॉर्चुनिटीज, बहुत तेजी के साथ वो एक्शन लेंगे। जैसे कि iPhone 1 जब पहली बार कंप्यूटर कंपनी निकाला था तो कुछ लोगों ने लाइन लग के लिया था। उनको पता था कि पहला फोन है, कुछ अच्छा होगा भी नहीं, पता नहीं काम करेगा नहीं करेगा, लेकिन लाइन लग के बिका। लेकिन पहला स्मार्टफोन था और बिका। तो कुछ लोग इन चीजों को एक बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी के साथ लेंगे और वो उसका भी पेबैक निकाल के दिखा देंगे कि साहब ठीक है, बैटरी वाली कार अच्छी है, मेरे पैसे बच रहे हैं, वो दिखाएंगे। और बाकी लोग भी आएंगे धीरे धीरे करके, एंड दे विल हैव देयर ओन रीजंस टू कम, एंड धीरे धीरे करके जो है ना वर्ल्ड उस डायरेक्शन में तो जाना ही है। So with this, it's a wonderful discussion, very fruitful, and I think everybody enjoyed. So last में मैं ये कहूँगा कि कोई हमारी ऑडियंस में से कुछ क्वेश्चंस, कोई ऑब्जर्वेशन छोटा मोटा हो गया हो तो वो है। So we should have given good time to everyone. Thank you.